Before we begin, I would like to invite our listeners to the 14th Annual Natural Living Expo, November 13 and 14 at the Best Western Royal Plaza Trade Center in Marlborough, Massachusetts. Come see New England's premier natural living healing event with over 180 vendors from around New England and from around the globe. Your $25 admission is for both days and includes, with admission, all workshops and seminars. I'll be at table number 20, and on Sunday morning, I'll be leading a meditation and brief talk in one of the seminar rooms. Stop by my table for an Akashic reading at the special expo rate of $60, and everyone who sits at my table will receive a coupon code for $20 off your next session, which you can use for yourself or a friend. Vaccination and use of masks is optional for all attendees, but is recommended as per CDC guidelines. I can't wait to see you there. And now for today's podcast. Welcome to High Vibes with your host Bill G and co-host Nina G. At High Vibes, we're looking into what it means to be a fourth dimensional being in an ever-changing world. We hope that by listening to this podcast, you can feel a greater sense of peace and connection as we collectively raise our energetic vibration to the next level. And now for today's podcast. Hello and welcome to
High Vibes.
I'm Bill G and I'm here with Nina. And before we do today's frequency upgrade, I just want to send out a huge shout out to Karen Tatro, Spirit Medium, who put on a phenomenal event yesterday in Dover, New Hampshire, the Silver Fountain Psychic Fair. I had a great time. Nina and my son had a high tea, which was really nice.
If you're ever in Dover, New Hampshire, and you have an hour or so to kill, go to the high tea there at the Silver Fountain Inn because it is just fantastic.
Yeah, and I had a great time. I got to meet Karen. We got to do a session together. And Karen, if you're listening, I'll be more than happy to attend any more of your events coming up. So I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Okay, that said, now let's move on to today's frequency upgrade. Just so a quick reminder, what I do is right before the broadcast, I break out my charts and my pendulum, and I do some dowsing to find out what it is that you need to be hearing right now as you are listening to this podcast. So no matter where you are in time and space, you could be listening to this as it comes out, or 6 months from now, you need to be hearing this at this time. And after we talk about what's on the clearing, then we will do a quick meditation, and then you are on your way. So for today's frequency upgrade, we went to Time Temple chart number 3, which is called Prescription for a Better Life. So what this one does is it provides us with what is the energy that we are trying to bring into our field. So the soul plane that involved here is the causal plane, which is from Chinese cosmology. We have the seed sound of Om, which is pronounced A-U-M, Om, which is for the third eye or the sixth chakra. The Dharma is controlling of the senses. The frequency of how often this needs to be brought in is every minute, and the color is orange with a angstrom of 6128.
So, Bill, isn't the causal plane about the body?
It is about the body. It's also, the causal plane is where the opening of the lotus takes place. So it's actually also part of connection to everyone else at the same time. It's connection to your environment and the relationship of your environment to your body. So the anchoring Dharma here is the soul plane is the astral, which is the realm of the emotions. The seed sound is Ham, which is associated with the throat chakra. The Dharma is sanctity. And the frequency is once every 40 minutes. This needs to be applied.
And sanctity is kind of like purity or like purifying oneself.
Yes, exactly. So when we're talking about the causal plane, it's the realm of the mind. And I picture this as being the connection of the mind-body connection.
Right. So that's where it relates to the body, where the two kind of intertwine with each other, and one can cause things in the other. And it's how you open to everyone around you too.
Right. Exactly.
Your thoughts about people, their thoughts about you, your thoughts about people in relation to yourself. Like, oh, I hope I didn't hurt that person. And,
right.
Yeah.
And the third chakra is also involved here with the causal plane. That's again, your connection with other people. And so the seed sound of Om with the third eye. So the third eye has to do with sight, spiritual sight, and also being able to see the truth for what it actually is being presented before you.
Yeah. So this is kind of talking about knowing your own truth, or really figuring out who you are in relation to the world, and expressing that out in the world. And then when you add that to the throat chakra that came in with the anchor, then you get knowing who you are and knowing what it is that you want, not what anyone else wants, or not letting other people control your decisions, whether it be through guilt or just a sense of fidelity or any of that sort of thing. But then also speaking your truth and putting that out into the world, and saying, I don't want this, or I really, really want this, so I'm going to go after it. And it really doesn't matter what you say. I need to do this for me.
Yeah. And the control of the senses, the Dharma of the control of the senses, we're talking about trusting yourself, trusting what you see, trusting your instincts.
Yeah. And not allowing kind of what you see out in the world to also control your decisions.
Yeah.
But just seeing yourself, like really being in your body and really checking in, and really every moment, every decision you have to make, hey, how does this sit with me?
And so with the anchor here, we have the astral plane. It's not just how I see things and I want to do this or I don't want to do this. How do I feel about that? How does a decision that someone wants to make for me, or a decision that I want to make for myself, how does that sit emotionally? Am I happy about it, or am I not happy about it? And do I need to follow that emotion, or do I need to suppress that emotion? With the seed sound with Ham, with the throat chakra, again, this is about speaking one's truth, being able to not only control your emotions and being able to feel what you need to feel, but then to be able to talk about it and say, hey, this really makes me uncomfortable, and I need you to explain it to me so that I'm not so uncomfortable anymore.
Yeah, a very good friend of mine, this is a really good example. A very good friend of mine says to me, Nina, can we just not exchange gifts for like birthday and Christmas? I'm really trying to save money. I'm really trying to do this. And, when I first heard it, I was sad because I like to give things, but, we're trying to save too. And we're kind of downgrading. I think a lot of people are thinking maybe something might be happening in the near future with the money issue. So, we're paring back a little bit. So, I got over myself in like 2 seconds, and I said to her, of course, because this is what you need to do. And I heard you. And I really need to do that too. And as much as I love you, I don't have to express that with a present. So she really dug deep there and said, wow, I really don't want to do this. It's not that I don't love you or anything, but I really don't want to do it. I'm going to tell you so. And then I dug deep and I said, hey, this really doesn't matter.
Because what's more important is the friendship.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's that kind of thing where she really, that took a lot of guts, I thought.
And so how does sanctity fit in here?
Well, sanctity is like purity. And when you figure out who you are and what you want and what is good with you and what isn't, and then you kind of speak that when something comes up, like my friend saying, I really don't want to do this to me, you are really kind of purifying those issues of guilt, control, all those things that make you feel like, well, I really have to do it. I don't want to, but I have to. You're allowing that to come up, and then you're allowing it to come out. You're talking to the people who you love and who you're involved with. And you give them the opportunity to say, okay, sure. Yeah, no, I totally understand where you're coming from. And that's totally fine with me. So you're allowing them to allow you to further like purify yourself in who you are.
Excellent. I like that.
Like allowing you to be really authentic.
So the next set of charts that came up was from the chakra repair and balancing charts. And these are the based primarily on the book by Cindy Dale, The Complete Book of Chakra Healing. If you don't own it already, I recommend you going out and buying it. It is excellent, excellent book. So the first point here was the energy point number 17, which actually you can look at it as chakra number 17 or energy point number 17, and that is harmony. And its purpose is to align all that appears similar and different to achieve oneness and unity necessary for health and well-being.
Yeah, and this is keep saying the same thing over again. Do what you need to do for yourself. Tell other people who are involved what you need to do for yourself. And that will help you achieve a lot of happiness, a lot of harmony within your relationships and within yourself. Mm-hmm. And it can really transfer over into your physical health as well.
Yeah, and also don't be a one-note person, because harmonies are best with multiple notes. Mm-hmm. So choose from various different things that work together, different health choices that all work together. It's not just about diet. It's not just about exercise. It's about everything coming together, the whole body coming together.
About you being in your own joy and making choices in your life that bring you joy and happiness and harmony, and they all work together, right?
Exactly. The next thing that came up with the chakra repair and balancing was the energy egg. So this is your connection. The energy egg is kind of a field that goes around your entire body, and it connects all chakras, and it connects all your present lives and parallel lives. It's kind of the whole thing that just wraps it all in one big package.
And again, that energy egg encompasses all your other energy fields, or it connects all your other energy fields to you, right?
Yeah.
So if you are working in your own joy and for your own personal harmony, then everything is going to come into alignment, including all of your energy,
right?
Layers that surround your body.
So the last piece came here from the SRT charts, the spiritual response therapy charts, a little used protocol called the Homo Toxicology, Dyadic Therapies, and Oriental Model.
It's so cool, though.
It is cool, yeah. Most people who do SRT, this is a challenging chart for them because you need kind of Eastern
really
medicine background.
You need an Oriental medicine background, which I happen to have.
Yes, aren't we so fortunate?
Yeah, so it was really neat to explain this to everyone when it came up.
Yes. And so what we can't have here is phase 4 came up. So basically how homotoxicology works, at least on the very basic level, is there are 6 phases, and where you fall on the phase is kind of a barometer on how serious the mind-body connection is being attacked.
Or how susceptible you are to a particular illness. And it takes into account like the bodily fluids, which Chinese medicine deals heavily with, because they are liquid and they're easy to change and change the course of flow of. Mm-hmm. So if we can change the course of flow of blood, then we can eliminate pain. Right. We can change the course and flow of, say, like hormones, and we can eliminate a lot of terrible menopausal symptoms, right?
Right, exactly.
Presumably, except not in me, but in everyone else, for sure.
That's not entirely true.
No, I did help myself the other day, didn't I?
Absolutely. Yeah. So
it's amazing.
So when we're dowsing this, if phase 1 comes up, then we're like, okay, there's an energetic predisposition is kind of pointing in that direction, something we need to address. Phase 6 comes up. it's like, maybe you should call your doctor. There's maybe something going on that you probably need to address.
Yeah, and in a more practical sense that I think people could really understand, it's like phase one is more like, hey, I'm just kind of starting to get a cold and I'm getting a little sniffly, a little bit of mucus.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the time you're up phase six, like you have blood disorders and liver disorders. But this also works very much energetically, not just physically.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what actually we're going to be talking about today.
Exactly. So in the context here, again, about speaking your truth, controlling your senses and whatever, what do you think the charts here are trying to tell us?
Okay, well, phase four, everything on this chart for phase four is impregnation, which means something that is coming into your body and kind of staying in there.
Mm-hmm.
It has to deal with the lungs and the pancreas, which deal very much with the immune system.
Mm-hmm.
The greater yin, which are the organs of the yin organs of the body. You've got enzymatic and hormone disruption. So we're looking at the things that create and are hormones. And there are quite a few of them in the body. They do everything in our body. They regulate our entire body. So when you have something like that, you know it is something that's kind of systemic.
Mm-hmm.
You have metal, which is the lung, and the lungs, when the lung gets in dysfunction, we get very sad. So say a loved one dies, our lung will get into dysfunction. We'll tend to get a cold, and we might have that cold for a long time. And I've seen it over and over again. It's really crazy. It's paired with the large intestine. Always the lung has always been paired with the large intestine. And you can affect the lung through the large intestine. So, you know, like when you get sick, maybe you have some digestion issues, and that is because the large intestine is also being involved in that dysfunction. And then the lymph part of it is spin clean blood, which, you know, that one I have no idea what that means.
Yeah.
But that's okay. The whole rest of it really does point to,
I think when it's saying spin clean blood, I think what it's talking about is you, like with a centrifuge, when you're spinning blood, you are separating whatever toxins are in it.
Okay, so like the first three phases, we're looking at lymph.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last three phases, we're looking at the blood. So we're looking at a disease factor that's getting more and more integrated into the body.
Right. Okay. And so the treatment here is we need to get the blood clean again.
Yeah. So we need to move a lot of things, especially in the upper jiao, the chest area, the lungs, right? We need to kind of motivate the kidneys a little bit and clear them out, because they are responsible for hormones.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time. They're the major thing that's responsible. A lot of things are, but and we need to get whatever is in our body that has been stuck in there out of there. And when we're looking at this in connection with the rest of what came up today for our frequency upgrade, I would have to say that everyone out there needs to be looking at where they are being controlled in their lives. Whether it be that maybe a spouse wants you to keep a job that you don't like, and you feel responsible and guilty, and so you just say, okay, I'll keep it. That's kind of a form of control that maybe you don't want. These are things that are not acceptable to you, but you do them because someone told you to, someone asked you to, someone pleaded for you to do.
Or someone threatened you.
Or someone threatened you to do. So all of these things are showing dysfunction in the entire chakra system right now. And if we can take some time every single day with every decision that we have to make, we can choose what is right for us all the way, not just a little bit or because we think we have to, but things that are right with us all the way. We can speak our own truth about how we feel about those things. And then we can change the course of our lives in that way. And that's how we can clear out this phase 4 toxicology.
Yeah.
And that's in all realms of society.
Yeah.
So
Right.
whether it's yourself,
Mm-hmm.
your family,
Your job.
your job, society at large, with your friends and what they're all doing.
And even your exposure to media. You know,
Yes.
what am I listening to? What am I paying attention to? Is it harmonizing with who I am or in my body, and is it making me feel ill afterwards?
Yeah, because a lot of that stuff can really kind of get in your head, and then you start making decisions based on what people are telling you what to do, whether you realize it or not. So
Right.
paying real good attention to what is coming in to your senses, taking control of them, making your own decisions, and coming out a whole lot happier and more harmonized.
If what we have described here is you, I strongly encourage you to go to www.vitalbioenergetics.com/
Book online.
and book request a 30-minute free consult, or to book a session. And that way we can take a deeper dive into what it is that you are feeling stuck on, and what do you feel that the world or your family or whatever are telling you what to do that doesn't feel right, and is causing dysfunction within your body and dysfunction within the way you express yourself.
Because if you can release some of those blocks, then those relationships with those people all of a sudden overnight become a whole lot better. It's really interesting, or at least different.
Yeah.
Right? We've seen that
Absolutely.
over and over again, especially in myself. I've seen huge changes, maybe not overnight sometimes, kind of depends on how I feel about it, but big changes in how we can relate to each other better. And therefore, both parties have a more harmonized life.
Excellent. So at this point, we are going to do our clearing meditation. And so just take a moment now and just make sure that you are free from distraction, and take a deep breath. Nice, big cleansing breath. Close your eyes if you can. If not, just keep your eyes lightly open and just relax. And what I want you to do is I want you to concentrate on your third eye. And within the third eye, right behind the third eye, is the pineal gland. And the pineal gland is actually shaped like an eyeball and hooks directly into the optic center of your brain, if you did not and were not aware of that. And so what we are going to imagine is that a bright light is shining through that pineal gland and opening up your third eye to the world around you. And it is opening your eye to what your high self is trying to tell you. And you're going to bring that energy in. And you're going to allow that energy to balance your mind-body connection. And now we're going to concentrate on bringing that mind-body connection, that feeling of harmonization within your mind-body connection, to your emotions. How does it feel to be in balance? Now imagine that energy, that feeling of being one with nature, one with yourself, going into that energy field that surrounds your body and penetrates every chakra in your body. Just feel that lighting up. Powerful energy center all around you. As we bring in this awareness into our field. And now let's concentrate on the body. How do the various organs in your body feel right now? Especially when we're talking about your lungs, your intestines? How is that digestion going for you? How do your lungs feel clear, or do they feel tight? Are you feeling sluggish? Do you feel as if there is some foreign body in your body right now that does not belong, that is causing dysfunction in your mind-body connection? And if you feel that, I want you to isolate it for a moment in your mind, to find that particle in your body which is causing that dysfunction, and I want you to inject that particle with love and light and change its vibration from that which is harming to that which is healing. And breathe all of that loving energy into that particle. And if it truly does not belong, send it away. Feel it leaving every pore in your body. Feel it coming out of your skin. Feel it coming through your kidneys and filtering through your kidneys, and eliminated and gone. And now I want you to feel your mind-body connection, loving your body, feeling at one with your mind and your soul and your physical body. You are free. You are free to be who you are. Nobody can tell you what you need to be, because that is all on you. Feel that joy in your body that you have ownership, you have agency. Now open your eyes. Take a deep cleansing breath. And enjoy the rest of your day. And we will see you next week.
Thank you for listening. For more information about Bill and Nina G, please go to www.vitalbioenergetics.com. See you next time.